All right, so the UFC and Dana White just announced a bunch of new fights, the next 9 events. Some are already known, some are new. And I say underwhelming because I feel just it's not a special oomph with these fights. I'm not getting excited by these. Like I don't feel super excited. I know a lot of people share that same feeling. I don't know. I feel like we're getting a lot of good matchups, but there's just something missing. And also with some of these matchups like Strickland versus Chimaev, that's not going down a bad path. I'm more excited for that than an Imavov versus a Khamzat. But it's just that path of more stardom and storyline and just selling power over merit. It's not good. And then we get some Apex fights or some bangers in the Apex. We get some bad matchmaking on the Macau card. We're going to get into that. First, I want to talk about them doing the announcement on YouTube instead of Instagram Live. I like it. You know, it's a lot better production-wise. You get a full, 16-minute video on all these announcements, which is good. You're in studio. It looks nice. You have a whole presentation for it. It is something you should expect from a major company and a promotion like the UFC, especially with the $7.7 billion deal they just got from Paramount. I expect this more going forward. The lives, honestly, weren't that bad. I feel like it could have been a better live announcement, kind of how we did on Thanksgiving, where he's at like a couch. He's like, we have this. This one I feel is a little too long, and there's too much of things that we already know. I think they could do this live for announcements and only do new announcements. Like kind of how the Instagram lives work, but doing it in a studio with some presentation. And it's live. Because I feel like, especially for someone like me who's always talking about news, reporting on news like I do in TikTok and Instagram, I want to be one of the first people to get it out. So I can't really watch the video, which is obviously on me. It's my thing, but for other people it works. But I feel like you can kind of mix in the two. You could do a live in the studio and then kind of just go through the new things. But overall, I think it's an improvement, but there's still some room for improvement. I think it's good, but could be better in my opinion. But it was kind of weird how they did this 9 new events. So it looks like we're not going to get announcements for a while, which is kind of shitty. Not going to get some announcements for probably another month or so. So it looks like we're going to have a dead period in the UFC for news-wise, which has happened a little while ago too. Like a few weeks ago, there was a dead period. I think beginning of February was pretty meh. But let's get on to the fights. First up, UFC 328. And this one's a little underwhelming in terms of like, you have the main card opener, King Green versus Jeremy Stevens, banger fight. But I feel like the rest of the cards, you look a little You have like Kopylov and Tulio, which is a banger. You have Atiba Gatier on there, major prospect. Jose Ochoa's on there as well. It's a good fight. Then let's start at the main event. Khamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland. Banger of a fight. I'm super excited for this one. Like I said before, Imavov deserves it. Sean Strickland's a more exciting matchup, more compelling matchup. It's going to be way, way more fun. There's going to be shit talking. It's going to get disrespectful. It's going to be wild. I know there's going to be some fights breaking out. It's going to be awesome. And I'm excited for this one. I think it's an interesting fight because on one hand, I don't see Strickland winning this. On one hand, I'm like, I think Khamzat's going to go out there, take down Sean Strickland, because Sean Strickland, you're not going to stop Khamzat Chimaev's takedowns. Kamaru Usman couldn't do it. I know he was on short notice, but he had some of the best takedown defense ever. Been taken down one time out of like 45 tries on him. Yes, it was short notice, up a weight class, but he's top tier wrestler, one of the best in the UFC at the time and ever. So Sean Strickland's not going to stuff his takedowns, but he has shown very good get-up ability. And obviously he works the body well. He's very defensively sound on the feet. And he hasn't fought a grappler like Khamzat. He's fought someone big and strong like a Dricus du Plessis, who he did get up from. He fought someone who's relentless like Anthony Hernandez, did really good. But Anthony Hernandez, the way he gets his takedown, is kind of setting up with his striking. And Strickland did a very good job with the teeps, with the jab, with the boxing defense, not really letting Hernandez get in his face and like make it nasty, make it chaotic. Which is Khamzat doesn't rely on that. Khamzat just he's gonna dart in like that. The takedown he got on Robert Whittaker where he gets low and long. That was Anthony Hernandez can't do that. And Khamzat Chimaev is a much better wrestler, the best wrestler in the UFC probably ever. I'd say one of the best grapplers ever, if not the best. I think he's gonna either, I could see one hand him dominating Strickland to a decision or just a submission. On another hand, I could see Strickland making it tough, especially in the later rounds. If he's surviving and maybe he's disrupted, because Sean Strickland could do that to grapplers. He's good at disrupting the rhythm, jabbing, working the body with the knees coming in like he did against Fluffy, with the teeps and stuff, how he always does. He could disrupt him, and if he has good get up ability, he makes Khamzat get up and then take him down again. Get up, take him. That's way, way more expending of energy than taking Dricus down one time and laying on him in crucifix or just laying on top in half guard or whatever. There's way more energy needed for that. And Khamzat, he's explosive. He's very explosive. He's big. He's a lot of size on him. He looks overweight. A few weeks ago, when there was a Yuri rumor circulating around, he looked overweight. But honestly, I think Sean Strickland could put up a fight. I'm gonna pick Khamzat. I think Khamzat wins even if it's a close competitive fight. But I'm leaning more toward kind of in the middle, like not a domination, but Sean Strickland making it hard at points, but not making it hard along the whole fight. I think he has the ability to, but I'm not 100% sure. So I think Khamzat takes this one pretty handily. Co-main event: Volkov versus Cortez Acosta. It looks like they might be. I wouldn't be surprised if they put a women's title fight on here, like Val versus Silva, maybe Dern Wei Li. I wish they would have done Dern Wei Li on that Macau card, which we'll get to. But I like this fight a lot. Volkov versus Cortez Acosta. If it stays at the co-main, hopefully it gets upgraded to a 5-rounder. I'm sure they both be down for that. And Volkov's he's kind of been fucked a little bit, but not really, because he has a L on his record versus Sirigan. He did get robbed. You can't give him a title fight after. They can't give him Sirigan's spot because you're coming off a loss and you've already got your ass beat by Tom Aspinall. You can't promote that. And then against Jailton Almeida on that same card, obviously, maybe if Tom Aspinall would have won or Sirigan would have won, they would have ran the Volkov rematch back with those guys. But obviously it was inconclusive with the no contest, and Volkov did not look good. His fight, yes, he won, but it was kind of Jailton Almeida's faults. Not being active when getting a takedown. He's getting taken down relentlessly, getting controlled for 11 minutes of the fight, and still won because Jailton Almeida just did not get active. And Waldo Cortez Acosta, he's on a great streak. I'm not certain about him 100% against these upper echelon guys like a Volkov, like a Gon, like a Tom. He did have a competitive fight with Sergey Spivak. He did win that. It was a very close fight. Sergey Spivak is still a good fighter. He's a great fighter, you know. And then Sergey Pavlovich right after that, he did lose a competitive decision, showed a great chin. But it's Pavlovich. Pavlovich is very good. We'll get to him later too. So I'm picking Volkov by decision here. I could see Waldo going to the grappling, the wrestling, maybe controlling him on top, but it's not as good as Jailton Almeida's. Volkov, I think, will be the guy better at range, popping his jab, using his kicks, using his long frame, his experience at the high level. I think Volkov would get this done. I'm leaning him as of right now, but it's going to be a fun one, I think. It's a great fight. The fight should have been made. I'm glad they did this one. Next up is Sean Brady versus Joaquin Buckley. Move from the Apex on April 25th main event to the featured bout so far on 328. I wish this one was 5 rounds. I think that'll be dope. But I'm leaning Joaquin Buckley. I think Bukamedov will come in here. New and improved. Takedown defense. Get up ability. Sean Brady does have good. He's not a Kamaru Usman type of grappler or wrestler where he just kind of shoots in and has really nasty timing. He does have good wrestling, but I feel like he's a little bit like a Bilal, like a fluffy type of guy where he has to get his striking going first. He showed that against Leon. He kind of has to get you on the back foot, back you up, and take you down. He's not like someone that's going to be out there in the open and just go for a takedown. I feel like his timing, he's not athletic enough to do that. So I could see Buckley, because Kamaru Usman still had very good takedown attempts and entries in their fight last year, but this is a long layoff for Buckley, 11 months. Sean Brady was just at a physicality disadvantage. You can't really train that. He was the smaller guy, less powerful. He just could not get into range. And Buckley's going to be the shorter, stockier guy. Could be better for stuffing takedowns, but I think it's also going to be a big problem for Sean Brady. The power difference. Yes, Sean Brady he's got volume TKO'd by Bilal, and then just TKO'd by Michael Morales. Took a lot of big shots in that fight. Joaquin Buckley, I think he's able to KO him or get a decision. I think he's going to be able to stuff it. But if Buckley does get taken down and Sean Brady's on top, I think that's going to be dangerous for him. Sean Brady does have very good top control, and he's very dangerous in his transitions. His transitions are very good. He's got to have a good grappling advantage here, but if he could get it there and keep it there for a while. But I'm going to go Buckley by KO or decision. Next up, Jan Blachowicz versus Bogdan Guskov. I wish they would have just done a new, fresh matchup. Do like Jan Blachowicz versus a Khalil. Jan Blachowicz versus Khalil, or Bogdan Guskov versus Ozdemir. Maybe Robert Whittaker versus one of these guys. That'll be very interesting. I think they could have done better matchups. The first fight was good. Jan Blachowicz won round 1 and 3. He got dropped bad in 10-8 in the second round. That's what gave him the draw. I'm favoring Jan Blachowicz, so I think he could really punish those exits of Bogdan Guskov, where he has his hands low, chin up, especially against a cage like he did in the third round. So I picked him. I literally picked him to do what he did in the third round, but I thought he would TKO him and get this finish, but he didn't. But age is not on Jan Blachowicz's side. Bogdan Guskov is pretty good, but defensively irresponsible. I would lean Jan Blachowicz, but just the age is not there. He did win 2 out of the 3 rounds, though. That's the thing, so I'm still going to lean him here. Next up, we got King Green versus Jeremy Stephens. The hardest hitting 145er. Who the fuck is that guy? This is a banger fight. Jeremy Stephens, the last fight, I think, last year on the Iowa card versus Mason Jones, was it? Was a scrap the first couple of rounds, and Mason Jones started grappling. Maybe we could see King Green going to his offensive grappling and wrestling like he did against Daniel Zahuber, like he did against Lance Gibson Jr. his last couple wins. But King Green, he's going to have a speed advantage here. He's going to have an elusiveness advantage like he usually does with his opponents. He even had it over young gunner Daniel Zahuber, who's pretty shit in his own right. But I think he's going to win this fight. He could get bombed here, of course. It's always a option with Bobby Green. He did get, or King Green, should I say. He always gets kind of tagged up. He did get tagged up one time against Daniel Zahuber as his only clean shots. He landed those 10 minutes of the fight. So I do see King Green winning this, but Jeremy Stephens could bomb him. But I think the age, the layoff, the inactivity, it's not in his favor at all here. And I think King Green, will get this one done. And then Atiba Gautier versus Ozzy Diaz. Atiba Gautier, I think, will come out here improved. It's not that much time to improve. It's less than 4 months. It's about 3.5 months. But let's see. Ozzy Diaz isn't great. I think Andrei Puliev is a better fighter, especially on the feet. That's for UFC 328. Let's get to the next one. This was part of the underwhelming, I said on the thumbnail. Terrible matchmaking here. Song Yadong versus Davison Figueiredo. Why are these guys fighting instead of being fed to somebody else or matched up with somebody on a win streak, someone propelling up the division? Song Yadong should be fighting a Talbot or Batista. I would have leaned to Batista. I think that'll be a good fight to make. And for Figgy, you do Talbot. But these guys are fighting. I don't think Figgy's going to do much in this fight like he usually hasn't been doing. He's been very passive, not throwing much, not doing anything in this fight, just scraping by. He scraped by Montel Jackson, got 30-27 by Umar, 50-45 by Petr Yan. Who else did he fight in between there? Fought somebody else. Corey Sandhagen, he looked like shit. That was the one. He looked like shit. He looked fat and old in that fight. I think he probably had a bad weight cut or injury, but he looked terrible. I think Song Yadong could chin him. You know, Figgy's getting old. He's got a lot of damage on him. He's always had a good chin, but Song Yadong did give Sean O'Malley some problems in the boxing, in the wrestling, in that pocket. That's why Sean O'Malley took a little while to get going, because Song Yadong did end up slowing down. He might this fight, but I could see him chinning Figgy. But this is terrible matchmaking. But I think it does open up the door for Corey Sandhagen. I mean, they're doing this probably for Song Yadong to get a good win in China. We kind of know that. But whatever. I think it's bullshit. But it does open the door for Corey Sandhagen versus Mario Bautista or Peyton Talbot, which I would lean Peyton Talbot in that case because he's a bigger name, hype prospect. Mario Bautista also has some hype behind him after his great win against Vinicius Oliveira. Looked absolutely dominant. Beautiful transition from crucifix to the rear naked choke. He's on a propelling streak, so I think he could set up a rematch between Bautista and Sandhagen or a new fight with Talbot and Sandhagen, which will be a striking masterclass. Maybe they'll put that on the White House card, but I don't think Peyton Talbot will be fighting on there. It's the opposite of what they believe in. But it could be this is not gonna be a good fight. I don't give a fuck. Fucking bullshit. Next up, Zhang Mingyang versus Alonzo Menafield. This is gonna be a scrap. I like this because Menafield he wins big or loses big. And Zhang Mingyang, he's a knockout artist. Like 19 fights, 19 wins, 19 first round finishes, 7 losses. I think most of them by finish, except for 1 or 2, maybe his losses. But I mean, this is good for him. I think this makes sense. It's a good bounce back, and it's a fun fight with a high chance of winning in his home country. So I think that's very good for him. I like this matchmaking. I think it's a good fight. I have no complaints with this. I think it's good. I think it's a fun fight. Makes sense. I'm good with this. And this shit, what the fuck? Sergey Pavlovich is fighting Talison Teixeira. My question is Sergey Pavlovich Chinese? Because he has a 9-month layoff from the last card in Shanghai in August to this card in Macau in May. Big layoff. Beat Waldo Cortez Acosta, who's number 4 ranked. Yes, he's on a big win streak since then. 3 knockouts, 3 wins. But Talison Teixeira, I thought Pavlovich maybe should have been fighting like a Rizvan Kuniev, because yes, Pavlovich shouldn't be fighting down really, but he's been a little inactive. The people above him are Siragon and Volkov, who one he hasn't fought, who's fighting for a title, and the other one just beat him like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, I think it was, Volkov. And then he's already knocked out Curtis Blades. He just beat Waldo. Number 5 is probably... Let me look at the rankings. Number 5 is... Oh, no. They're tied for 4. Then you have Sergey Spivak at 6 and then 7. I thought he would fight maybe Rizvan Kuniev, but I guess not. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. Like I said, is he Chinese, fighting on these China cards and then giving him an easy opponent here to knock out? Not an easy opponent, but... It should be a layup for him. After we saw Talison Teixeira's fight against Tai Tuivasa, not a great fight, but he's getting huge names, Talison Teixeira. Derek Lewis in the debut, then Tai Tuivasa, now Sergey Pavlovich, all the way up. He got a ranked opponent after 1 win over Justin Tafa. Then now, after his first ranked win over Tai Tuivasa, was 0-6 in his last 6 fights. Gets a big step up to the top 3. Like, this doesn't make sense to me. He's not a big name or a big prospect. Like, he's not good. It's not that good. Pavlovich is going to chin him, I think. I think he's going to come out more aggressive because Talison Teixeira doesn't have big knockout power. I don't think Pavlovich needs to respect him that much. I think Pavlovich could get him out of there. But whatever, it's an easy layup for him in Macau. I guess he's Chinese now, so they want to put on a highlight for the Chinese crowd. I know they want to capture that market, like China, Japan, shit like that. So whatever. Next up, main event in the Apex. This is more so an Apex fight than a Buckley Brady. Aljamain Sterling versus Youssef Zalal. This is a very, very good fight, but it's a bad spot for Aljo in my opinion, because I think he'd more so need a higher opponent. I was saying he should have been advocating for a Gene Silva matchup because it's winnable for him, and if Gene Silva gets one more win, he is skipping Aljo. Aljo was advocating, saying, I need a title shot, I deserve a title shot, me versus Volk, former champ versus current champ, legend versus legend. I don't agree. He shouldn't get a title shot now. He should get one more win. But now it puts him in a spot he's going to need at least 2 more wins. Same thing with Zalal, but that's more reasonable on his end. Josh Emmett, then you get another big win in the top 5, and then another big win after that. This is a highly contested matchup, though. I don't know who I'm picking yet. I might go with Aljo because of the experience. The striking is pretty similar. The grappling's pretty similar. I'm going to have to go back and watch tape. I honestly don't know who I'd pick here. It's very interesting. I'm going to lean Aljo. But this is a competitive fight. They're very evenly matched. I think it's similar fight styles, kind of. And yeah, I like this, though. It's an Apex type of fight, but part of my underwhelmingness is, part of the being underwhelmed is, like, the Apex. We could get, you have to have good fights in the Apex. Like, this weekend is great fights in the Apex. But I feel like a top 5 matchup, I mean, it's 7-5, but someone in the top 5, it's not bad for Apex, but I feel like this could be in a pay-per-view. But I'm not mad at it. This is decent for an Apex fight. Now we also have another featherweight Apex main event. May 16th. This is a banger. Should be on a main card. Arnold Allen being active versus Melchizedek Costa. Arnold Allen's coming off the loss to Gene Silva, where he did take some damage against a big power, not power punch, not like a huge power puncher, but someone with power. Did eat some big shots, especially in the third round. Marcos Alcace's coming off the spinning back kick to the chin on a 5 or 6 fight win streak. I think this is an interesting matchup because Marcos Alcace, he thrives with that open stance kick. That's one of his biggest weapons. He has good spinning attacks. He has good clinch work. He's big. He's long. He's good with the hands. He's a very good all-around striker, but his chin is a little suspect. I don't expect Arnold to chin him. Arnold's a very good fighter. This is an interesting matchup. I'm going to lean... Arnold Allen's more 5. I would lean Arnold Allen here. This is one I have to watch. I'm going to watch that Steve Garcia fight back. See how he did against a southpaw, because I know he got chin. Obviously, Arnold doesn't have Steve Garcia power, but I like this fight, and I think this is a lot of movement in the featherweight division. I think this sets up a Gene Silva versus Yair Rodriguez. Yair needs to come back. Gene Silva says he has fight news, so I think this sets up a lot of movement in the featherweight division. A lot of great fights. I'm excited. I think this is a card. This is a good fight for the Apex, like rankings wise, but I think style wise, the fighters themselves, like you get Marcos Alcace, he gets this on a crowded event, gets this crazy spinning back kick, first man to finish Danny Gay, and does it in the first round. Now gets shoved back in the Apex, which, I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I think the Apex will be renovated by then with 1,000 seats. I don't know if it's April or May, but I'm not completely mad at this, and I'm good. Thinking about it more now, I'm not that upset with these fights being in the Apex. Now we have a true Apex fight. Bully B versus Gabriel Bonfim. Below 4. Okay. Bonfim gets a big step up to number 4. Again, let's look at the rankings and see what matchups could have been made. Because I see a lot of people shitting on this fight, which I don't agree with. Because Gabriel Bonfim, number 10. Joaquin Buckley's fighting up. Leon Edwards is not fighting anytime soon, I guess. Kamaru Usman needs to fight up. And Sean Brady's fighting down. Carlos Prates is fighting up. And then obviously these guys. So Bilal, he's on a 2-fight skid. 49-46 and 30-27. So 2 pretty bad losses on the scorecards. You match him up against Gabriel Bonfim, was on a good win streak. Just knocked out Randy Brown. Yes, he did struggle with Wonder Boy, but he deserves to fight up. He's not going to be fighting down any of these guys unless it's like an Earls match, but I think he deserves to fight up. I'm fine with this matchup. I think it's going to be a banger. It's going to be a really good fight. I could see 2 things, like, because I'm pretty sure Bonfim has had cardio issues. I'm not sure about that fight with Dalby, if that was a cardio issue where he got TKO'd or not. But Bully B, obviously, he's going to have the better boxing. He's going to be able to take him down, I think. Gabriel Bonfim is a good grappler, though. If he has a cardio issue, if I remember correctly, if he has a cardio issue, I would go Bilal Muhammad. But if not, Bonfim has a good jab, good low kicks. I think he'd hurt Bilal there. He's big, he's long. Bilal doesn't have a lot of good matchups in this division. I think there's passive victory for both. But I'm going to lean Bilal here. I got to go back and watch. But I think Bilal could take this one. It's a tough matchup for him. And I'm not very high on him anymore. After seeing like his fight style, it's like kind of just box, kick maybe. And then go into a takedown. Like kind of ram yourself in. I feel like that's not working as much anymore in these fights. Especially against longer, bigger guys who have good grappling and takedown defense themselves. I feel like it's kind of dying out. So I'm worried for Bilal. Hope he gets it done. But this is a good fight, a good main event. I'm fine with this in the Apex as well. I think the stack, like with these Apex cards, make them like this weekend. Like there's a lot of good banger unranked fights and a couple ranked good bangers. That's how you gotta do it. Don't put the crazy good fights in there. Don't shit them and make them ass. But I'm fine with this. I think it's a pretty good fight. Next up, we got Benito Dariush versus Kellen Salkield. Benito Dariush is supposed to fight Manuel Torres in UFC Miami 327. Manuel Torres injured. Benito Dariush said he was out looking for an opponent. Gets pushed back about 3-4 weeks to May 2nd. Salkield gets a ranked shot, which I think he should have got. I think he should have got a Gamrot or a Moicano over Chris Duncan and Ribovics, but he's getting his ranked opponent against Dariush. A winnable fight, very winnable. He's shown good wrestling and grappling. I think Benito Dariush is fucked. He's going to get escapes murder from Manuel Torres, gets put back right into it. And I think he's going to get destroyed by Quillen Salkield early on. Because Quillen Salkield is also big and powerful. It's a terrible fight for Beneil, bro. It sucks. He's over. His chin is shot, obviously, and then he just got knocked out again. Put in doggy style in 15 seconds, bro. Fuck, dude. It's over. And then Kyler Phillips versus Charles Jourdain. Co-main event at UFC Winnipeg. This card is shaping up to be some ass. It's going to be a good fight, though. I think Charles Jourdain's got a style in him, though. Kyler Phillips, I don't think he's good at all. Again, I'll never forget that comment someone made. A woman on estrogen, that is what, or a woman on testosterone, that's what Kyler Phillips looks like. Not so much in this picture, but there's some other pictures where he really does look like that. I think he's going to just get fucked here. He's going to get fucked by Charles Jourdain. I could see Charles Jourdain get a sub later on in the fight, like the third round maybe. Kyler Phillips does slow down a little. And lastly, I want to talk about Alex Perez versus Sumar Dorji. Alex Perez just knocked out Charles Johnson in the first round and gets a step down to Sumar Dorji. Very weird UFC Macau. Obviously, they want Sumar Dorji to fight up. He looked good his last fight, but it's Jesus Aguilar who's shit. That was a terrible performance from him. Very disgusting and ugly. Sumar Dorji looked good, but never count Alex Perez out. I think I'm leaning Alex Perez here. I think Alex Perez could get in there, get in the boxing, and because Sumar Dorji left a lot to be desired. I think he could have finished that fight against Jesus Aguilar if he stepped on the gas. But maybe he was just playing it safe. But this is a dangerous fight for him. Sumar Dorji could win if he stays at range, uses his kicks well, his jab, decent combos when he does combo up. But he's more of like a tap dance around, tap dance around. But pretty good announcements. I'm excited for all of these. I think there's some good fights here. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll see you later today for my prediction video for this weekend's card. See ya.